Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Strategy Guide, where we show you how to get strategic victories and tactical victories in your favorite video games. Hey guys! N12 Warthog Game here, back with another episode of Strategy Guide, and today we are covering Human Alliance and Warlords 2 Rise of Demons, and we're going to show you how to kick butt as playing as the Human Alliance faction. So first off, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually sell this unit. I misbought that unit, but what we want is... There's a glitch. You can't really see the King's Guard. Anyway, you'll probably see him in battle. I don't know why it's glitching out like that. Maybe it's because this is a hacked version, as you can see by the money at the top. I pretty much did that so I don't have to spend like 5 hours just grinding out all the money that you can get. I mentioned that in the first video. You pretty much battle, surrender at the last second before you win, get money for all the kills that you made during the battle, even though you surrendered, and so forth. So what you want to do is definitely get King's Guard, buy a Ladderman and a Trebuchet. Our must, you're gonna want your Archmage as well. So that's the thing. Archmage. You want to buy all the upgrades if you can, or as you go along. Some of these units do not have upgrades. Now, for your Archmage and whatnot, it's a little bit different in terms of spells that it can do. It has a small number of spells, sort of like the demons, but they focus more on like dead, like ones that instant kill or do high damage, whereas these ones do a lot of damage, but it's a little bit like more unique in their selection, but they don't have that big of a selection of spells to use. Now what I definitely recommend is getting a Hammerman, because a large stone warhammer, the short range, can hit very hard and knock enemies to the ground. It knocks them to the ground, but some of our units also have armor, which makes them less resistant to being knocked over, which is kind of good. So this one, as you can see, good at close combat, has a lot of armor. For the most part, the Human Alliance, to sum it up, is generally well-rounded, but the main strengths that it has are melee and armor, but not like to a full extent like other units may have. Okay. So now I'm just gonna get my horseback unit. I prefer to have one there just for the sake of diversity, so that way you're not all infantry and all have the same weaknesses that infantry share in common. I prefer mounted spearmen over the mounted hailbaler. That's really up to you if you want to use the other one. That's the only thing that I really don't mind which one you want to do. Now, of course, when you start out, you'll notice that everything sounds super easy to begin with and whatnot. You start out as a level 1, not on level 2, like you did with, as playing as demons. Now, as you notice, difficulty is 57 here, but it's 5 over here. So, for starters, I'm going to show you by taking over Darkwood and then attacking the East Force so I can have a land battle and a castle battle and show you the things you'll need to know. You probably want to go down here, finish these guys off. Then you probably want to go to the Orcs of the South and sort of establish sort of like a line around here. Go up to the Men in the West, you know. Then High Elves, maybe the Undead after that. Then Orcs to the North, then the Mountain Trolls, and then go for the Demons, because usually you can't raid them. Or they'll recommend that you wait until level 13. But they say it'll be very difficult and whatnot. If you honestly do want to do that, you can go ahead. But I think difficulty goes up every time that they do that. I guess they sort of wanted to make the fact that the demons are like the main enemy. But in order to win the game and all, you have to conquer everything. So, for starters, I'm just going to disable tutorial. I have to do this every time because I reset the data. So, I'm going to send out a spearman. It has spear charge. Our swordsmen have the same thing. They do not hold an attack bonus against X-Men Nor does the Axeman apparently have an attack bonus against the Swordsman. So it'll be sort of a little back and forth and see who wins. Now the Hammerman, which has a lot of armor but can do a lot of damage, as you guys can see, will knock back units. That will bring a battering ram or a cavalry unit charge to a dead stop, or a spearman charge if a spearman is charging. These are actually quite good if you want to use them in a ready charge, which is where it summons one in each lane. As I could show you here, that's what it would look like. You could all charge in. Now, one of the main things about this unit is that it's a unique unit of the Human Alliance, so they, like, literally, this is a unit that no one else can have, but the main weaknesses for these guys is that their range. Like, they may have good armor and good at melee, but even something that has good armor means they can take more damage. That means you're just gonna have to hit it more. Like, if I put archers, if I sent melee in front to take these guys on, I probably wouldn't do so well. But if we have archers supporting them, it's probably the best thing to do, as they can get in several hits before they engage with your melee units if possible, and so forth. Now, I don't think you have that much armor for your archers or your trebuchets, which literally can't defend themselves at close combat because that's a melee unit. But that's just how things go. So, here you have an Archmage. I'm going to show you what its capabilities are. It normally can teleport. It teleports to a different lane if it feels that it's in danger. It can send lightning balls, lightning strikes, telekinesis, and I think it can also lightning bolt. I saw there, light ball. They have a similar version of a light ball that they can use as a default attack if you don't have any spells bought for the unit. I guess that really applies to all of the units that you have as well. Now, one thing I mentioned in my Men in the West one, I said feel free to use all siege your siege contraption in battle, but you definitely should not do that for your trebuchet, because that thing has range and it cannot defend itself at close combat. It literally is the worst at doing that out of all of them. Out of all of them, I would say that one can't take that much damage compared to many of the other units, such as battering rams can. Although, if a giant demon or a giant mountain troll were to attack it, it'd probably go down in 1 or 2 hits anyway, so at least that's my experience while playing this game. So, even though that you are good at melee, you can increase the effectiveness of your melee units by also allowing for range support with your archers or any other ranged units. Sometimes it would be good if you could do it with trebuchets, but I'm going to tell you this, don't even bother using them on open field battles. Save them for siege battles on castles. That's all you need to know, because they can't do much at close combat, but they can constantly attack a castle even when there are not enemies there. And that's part of the victory conditions for getting victories on castle battles. So what I'm going to do is end the battle. Even though I didn't actually win yet, I've done all I can to explain to what you need to do here. Now, main tactics we're going to do is melee, covered by trebuchets. Then we're going to talk about Poison Castle and the Laddermen. So, your objective, no matter how many times the enemy gets units onto your side, they cannot undo your progress, as this is a castle siege. You have to either get your victory bar at the top over to the side by doing damage to the castle, or getting a guy in to the castle. Now, if you get a guy into the castle, it's going to probably move the bar up more than it would be for the attacks that you used to break down an entrance into the castle. Although certain units cannot enter the castle nor use the ladders, such as, in my experience, magic casters of any race and your siege contraption. siege contraption is your non-ladderman siege unit. And that's pretty much the best thing to do, is to, once you get, like, a lot of units, is to, like, get your siege contraption out. Now, the reason for this is that I have, like, 4, like, spearmen in the current row that I'm in. Spearmen are not the best units. I mean, I guess they're a standard, I would say they're a standard unit, but, they take fast. They don't take that long to make the unit or ready the unit. It usually spawns in pretty fast. And if I keep sending melee units to protect it, you can constantly hold enemies at bay in this lane while having your trebuchets constantly attack it at range, which allows you to do damage over time. Now, poison the castle tactic. When I think of poison effects in video games, I usually think of something that slowly drains your health over time. In this case, it's slowly draining health of a building over time. Now, the way this works is you get magic casters to get right to the gate of the door. Now, the reason for this is that when they do that, they'll constantly bang on the door and attack it. The only reason that this happens is because their staff is too big and they won't be able to set it aside, because it's their only weapon, to attack people with, and for whatever reason they just don't fit through the door, just like your trebuchets don't. Trebuchets don't have that much range, but when they do hit, they do a decent amount of damage. Also, it's good if you want to send out a King's Guard right alongside your King's Guard or a Hammerman, right alongside your trebuchet. That way it does not take that much damage, because they're good at melee and knockdown units, mainly range ones, so it stops them from constantly firing at something that's doing damage directly to the castle. Although if there's an enemy in the row, it will fire at that first rather than the castle, as its mechanism is to defend itself first before attacking the castle. So I can constantly send units down one lane and pretty much fully control that. Now, this tactic is similar to that of outnumbering at the point of attack, which was a tactic primarily used by Napoleon during the Napoleonic Wars, and one of the main reasons how he was able to defeat an army larger than his, or an army that had the upper hand. He was able to just, wherever he was attacking, he outnumbered, but overall numbers he did not. And that's the same thing applies here. Just send all your units down one lane. If you have a ready charge, you can do that, because it will suppress them in a way which means they will not send as many units in the lane that you are mainly charging, but it will force them to send other units to counter the units summoned in the other lanes as well. And it sort of gives you an upper hand there, or gives your units break, or gives you a time to strengthen your hold on the one main lane that you are charging down as well. And it works later. It starts off a bit slow, but in the end it will work. So, from the beginning, like I said, after this you want to finish off the Wood Elves, Orcs of the South, Men of the West, High Elves, then maybe Undead, Orcs of the North, then the Mountain Trolls, and then go for these guys. The difficulty for these guys are still 57 on level 3. They were 57 before. They don't recommend that you attack them until level 13. I guess the difficulty doesn't go up until level 13. But I think that's all I need to show you for the strategy guide for playing as Human Alliance. Hope you guys enjoyed watching. If you did, taking the time to leave any comments, questions, or feedback for me in the comment section down below would be highly appreciated. And I will see you guys later. Bye-bye.